Hey guys, this is GameGeek2 coming to you with another battle. I'm sort of coming to with it right in the thick of things just to cut down on the amount of time. Hopefully I can get this all into one video of a not too long length. Anyways, so you can see I'm playing as the Getai, and my opponent is BraveSirRobin. He's playing as the Karthladas team. And this is on the 3.1 EDU on a recent hotfix that I made that makes some changes, notably to missile ammo and to some other units, just the Drapani, and also gives all units a slight defense increase, resulting in a bit more protracted battles. Now, I'll start with my army. I have taken 4 units of Taquitos, 4 units of Epilectoi, 4 units of Drapani, 4 units of Thrakioi Hippeis, 1 Phylakistai, sorry, 3 Thrakioi Hippeis, 1 of the Kitistai, 2 Dacian archers, and that rounds out my army. My opponent took a bit more of a diverse army. He's got a couple of Numidian archers, got some Balearic slingers, 1 Sacred Band cavalry unit, a bunch of Libby Phoenician hoplites, and an elite Libby Phoenician infantry to hold the line, several units of the Iberian assaults, and some Dorki Malupim. You can see here my Kitistai killing off these archers. Here, yeah, my first mistake, I don't get off a javelin volley here because I'm trying to micro over there. I could have easily pretty much destroyed him there. And here he almost, he gets the upper hand, he gets the jump on me with this attack over here. But luckily I have the Drapani positioned so that I can just charge them in quickly. But for some reason I changed their target at some point, because I'm smart like that. And meanwhile, my opponent makes a shift, and he moves all his Mares over here. The Mares, excellent. They have very high accuracy for what they do. They are. Same with these Balearic light infantry. Very high accuracy, very useful against these Drapani. Drapani, you can even see how his guys got surrounded by mine, and they were so close to mine that they kind of got caught up very quickly. And so the Drapani cut those guys down. Another thing that happens is this elite African unit kind of goes out of the way, gets a bit too far out, and gets run over by cavalry. First in come the Phylakistai. Then comes a general charge by everybody. And everybody gets in on the fun, and these guys get cut to pieces very quickly, though I think I waste a lot of javelins on them. Anyways, soon enough my Drapani get into the same problems he did. They get a bit overzealous and advance too far. And they get chopped to pieces, but they actually lose their numbers through javelin volleys. Now, unfortunately, my opponent's Balearic slingers do a number on my general. And at some point, for some reason, I decided to keep these guys in melee and try to chop through these guys. At least deal some damage to them. Not a good idea. So I pull them out soon. I pull them out as soon as I can put these Epilectoi into the fight. But I did do some decent damage with them, and well, they were in melee. Now here's where I make a big mistake. I try to move these cavalry in for attack, but I don't notice that these Scutari are in the way, and so my attack is completely cut off. And instead, he gets to move in these Sacred Band cavalry and get a full-blown charge on me, as I'm not in skirmish mode. And that kills off enough men to rout one of my units. And so I try to swarm him in melee with numbers, but because these are elite cavalry, this doesn't work as well as I thought. And so I'm really noticing that against more skilled players like Robin, bringing lots of javelin cavalry to be able to overwhelm the opponent at weak points isn't a good idea because, well, good players like Robin don't create many weak points to be overwhelmed at. Now you can see eventually his superfluous javelin attacks eventually kill my general, whereas mine focus on killing his infantrymen. He puts in a lot of puts in some reinforcements in order to try to defeat my flanking attack here. And a lot of my guys get caught up very quickly by a charge by his Sacred Band cavalry, which hits me in the back and completely destroys my defense on this flank. I apologize, I couldn't bring that to you. I was focusing on other things. Now the tide, having beaten back my assault there, the tide's turned in his favor. I haven't managed to make much headway against the Sacred Band. And he puts his Scutari into the melee. So I decide this is not going to be a winning proposition. Instead make other efforts. I put my second unit of Taquitos in melee now that I see that he's committed his Mars to battle after they've been dealt their fair share of damage by Drapani attacks and things. Now, unfortunately here, he manages to put in a charge on my guys, but fortunately for me, not too many of them get run down. Or at least I don't think too many of them get run down. Could be wrong. I guess it looks like I am wrong. And his guys get away. I make more mistakes by having my Katistai keep shooting at the backs of my troops when my Drapana are in the way. It's a mistake for obvious reasons. These Scutari are really resilient. It's really surprised me throughout this battle how much, like, there would be like 14 Scutari or like 23 Scutari like this, and you could send all the cavalry you wanted at them and they wouldn't crack. I was really impressed by their performance. Anyways, for more macro picture, so actually, no, I was wrong in that wasn't the place where where my guys were cracked by cav charge. These guys just cracked in general, having been out and exposed. And he gets in another charge with his Sacred Banders, as you can see, and he has the Scutari there. And yet another one of my cavalry units gets trapped. And I don't micro this battle very well, I don't think. And I pull back, but here's where it gets pretty bad for me, because he gets in a charge on the back with his Sacred Band, and it absolutely obliterates my units there. Now his cavalry gets torn up to pieces for it, but it's worth it for him, because he completely breaks my back on this flank and frees up all these troops to go on their offensive. Plus he has all these infantrymen to defeat my cavalry. And these units are breaking too. All I got left is some of these guys as reserves. And the Katistai, of course, who I hadn't committed yet to battle. Now my Thracians get caught up in melee somehow, it appears. And I get into a melee with his Sacred Band cavalry again showing how resilient they are despite overwhelming numbers. Which again suggests that a well-prepared enemy really does beat the overwhelming numbers of light-armed javelin cavalry that I like to use. Still, I'm always impressed by the performance of Taquitos and how resilient they are. Like, as long as you can keep them from getting flanked, they'll just keep coming at you, and they got decent stats and they got good numbers. So, I do intend to diminish the role of units like them in EBNOM. If only because I intend to make spear units a more important part of battle plans. Ironic, because the sword was actually more important by the time of EBNOM, but EB infantry battles usually are completely dominated by sword units, and in this case, axe units are very important. You can see in this case his Iberian assaults were not able to stand up to my superior numbered axemen, especially after being routed earlier. Another instance where the quality is really prevailing, I get a flank attack, but the flank attack doesn't really work. And one last charge by the Sacred Band, he gets in right through this gap, and gets in against my taquitos. Does a good amount of damage. They get killed for doing so, but he also kills off like 5 of my Katista in the process, and gets 13 of my taquitos. So, all in all, very worthwhile for him. And so, another unit of Thracians is down, and all we got left is this one. I don't even manage to get it around over here. So yeah, I'm really concluding that I guess these massed light cavalry really aren't the best option against factions like the Carthaginians, with a high reliance on these more elite units. So I try to pull out before they rout, but they rout anyways, and that's the end of them. Fortunately, however, with their rout comes the rout of the Epilectoi. Fortunately for me, I do have more Drapani coming back, but I don't know if that's going to cut it. Over here, though, I do get the rout against these troops, and I have Katista in position to beat these ones. Guess I do get a bit slack with my troops here. Don't pull them out quickly, but eventually get there. I think I might have picked the wrong target here, but considering how my taquitos were destroyed, I don't think it would have mattered. Over here you can see again how the Drapani do really good work. Despite costing a lot less, the fact that I put chevrons on each of these guys is really showing up. And that they're taking on the Iberian assaults and actually coming out with a decent, even fight, even though these guys cost half as much per man. If that. You do see, however, how much better the morale of his troops is than mine. All my troops are routing, whereas I had to kill off a lot of his. Like his that routed of like 5 men, 16 men. Mine went with like 30 men. I get the kill there. Over here, I think I also get the kill. But unfortunately, it brings in these Libby Phoenicians. And so I think that pretty much destroys my chances of winning. Yeah. As soon as his men make it in for the charge, my guys crack. And that spells, so long and thanks for all the fish. And, although, the only thing that's really allowing me to compete in the battle at this point is the fact that I still have a unit of Katistai. I think I should have done a better job trying to organize my troops all at once. That would have given me a better shot. But hey, whatever. Just shot my way through the slingers. And I get in this charge. He does turn to oppose me and I get out. But a decent number of Scutari get killed off. Like 10 Scutari get killed. Unfortunately, these taquitos are still routing. And there's still the Libby Phoenicians to deal with. Now, I don't manage to kill these Scutari in time before the reinforcements arrive, so that's unfortunate. But I do have these Drapani charging in, and when I see the fact that I got the Drapani coming in, I think that I have a chance to win the battle. But I didn't notice that there were 60 elite Africans coming back from retreat. And so basically my fate is pretty much sealed at this point. Yeah, fat chance of that working. And that unit cracks, and the taquitos crack. All that's left are the... I was going for a charge, but that would have been bad ethics on my part to go for a charge like that one. Instead, I rely on these high morale epileptoi to hold out for a short while, so I can get in a charge, and miraculously, he does turn, but I kill enough of his men off in a short period of time that I actually accomplish a rout on the elite unit. Unfortunately, for some reason, I decide to turn these guys away, and so the rout doesn't really do anything. I don't really get to kill off very many of his men after it. Which is rather unfortunate, because they're an elite, they're going to come back after that. I get him for the melee, but he brings his troops in, and his are much more important for this purpose, so... Now I'm moving for a charge, but I decided it's just not my ethic to go for a charge like that and win on that, because that's an illegal charge, charging through there. And I pay the price for it, but I don't think it would have mattered. So the battle's essentially a foregone conclusion at this point. But it was very, very impressive and fun. Well, not impressive, but it was very fun while it lasted. It was one of the closest battles I've ever fought. Very well played on both sides. I learned a good deal of lessons about army composition and about how to play better. And I finally found somebody who can definitely withstand the assault of many Thracian cavalry. But what else do you expect from BraveSirRobin? He's one of the best there is. So, yeah, that's a wrap. And I call it quits about here, and that's it. And you actually notice how I killed more of his men than he killed of mine, but more of mine routed. Yeah, and the men remaining is because of healing and obvious other things. So you can see how the kills worked out. Drapani got a lot, Taquitos got a lot, Epileptoi depending on the unit. Yeah, no one really didn't get too many kills except this one unit of Dacian skirmishers and some of the Thracians who definitely should have had more kills. Anyways, it worked out great, and I hope to see you again with another video very soon.